shrouded in eternal twilight, where ancient stones whispered forgotten woes, and jagged peaks clawed at a perpetually bruised sky, lived a young soul named Elara. Her village, nestled in a valley scarred by time, often felt the cold breath of the world's harsh indifference. Fear was a constant companion, rustling through the gnarled trees and seeping from the very earth itself. Elara, like many others, often felt adrift, tossed by the unseen currents of fate, her heart heavy with worries she couldn't name, and a yearning for a peace that seemed impossible to find in such a land. One evening, as the last sliver of dying light bled from the sky, Elara sought refuge by the ancient well, its stones worn smooth by generations of sorrowful hands. There she found Elder Lyra, her face a map of countless seasons, her eyes holding a deep, quiet calm that defied the gloom around them. Child, Lyra's voice was a soft rustle of dry leaves. You carry the burdens of the world as if they are your own. But tell me, can you command the moon to rise earlier or the shadows to retreat? Elara shook her head. No, Elder, Lyra nodded. Then, why do we fret over that which is beyond our grasp? True strength, Elara, lies in knowing what is truly ours to command. Days turned into weeks. A blight descended upon the valley, turning the meager crops to dust, and a precious heirloom, a small, carved wooden bird, disappeared from Elara's dwelling. Despair threatened to engulf her. Lyra found her weeping amongst the withered stalks. The crops are gone, the bird is lost, Elara sobbed. What control do I have over such cruelties? Lyra gently placed a hand on her shoulder. You cannot control the blight or the thief, Elara, but you control your reaction. Will you let sorrow consume you, or will you choose to accept what is and focus on what you can do? Tend to what remains, offer comfort to your neighbors, or search with purpose. Slowly, Elara wiped her tears. The words were simple, yet they offered a sliver of light in her overwhelming darkness. As the biting winds of the dreadwinter began to sweep through the valley, whispers of the Icefang beast, a creature of ancient malice, spread fear. Many villagers huddled in their homes, paralyzed by dread. Elara, too, felt the chill of fear, but Lyra urged her to practice a different kind of preparation. Imagine the worst, Elara. Imagine the beast at our gates. Imagine the bitterest cold. What then? Will you crumble, or will you recall your strength? By facing these fears in your mind, you disarm them. When the true challenge arrives, your spirit will already have walked that path, prepared and unyielding. Elara began to visualize, not with morbid fascination, but with a quiet resolve, imagining herself calm and resourceful even in the face of the beast. The Dreadwinter brought a sudden, unprecedented blizzard. The village was cut off, and vital supplies dwindled. Panic began to set in. Yet, Elara recalled Lyra's teachings. Embrace what comes, Elara. This blizzard, this isolation, it is not good or bad. It simply is. Can we find opportunities within it? Can we discover new strengths, new ways to cooperate, new resilience? Elara watched as the villagers, initially despairing, began to work together, sharing what little they had, finding warmth in communal efforts. Elara herself, instead of lamenting the storm, found a quiet appreciation for the stark, brutal beauty of the snow-covered world outside, and the warmth of human connection within. The blizzard eventually receded, revealing the landscape transformed. But with it came a greater threat, a band of scavenging raiders, drawn by the desperate conditions. Fear threatened to paralyze the villagers. Elara, though her heart pounded, felt a different kind of resolve. Lyra's words echoed. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. It is acting rightly, even when your knees tremble. Elara, instead of fleeing, stood her ground, using her knowledge of the treacherous terrain to guide the villagers to safety, showing a steadfastness that inspired others, proving that true courage came from within, not from brute force. Later, a deep resentment festered in Elara's heart towards one of the raiders who had stolen a neighbor's cherished possession. She found herself consumed by anger, her thoughts spiraling into vengeance. Lyra observed her silent torment. This anger, Elara, what does it truly serve? It punishes you, not them. Examine it. Is it logical to allow a past action over which you have no control to poison your present? Use your reason. The action was wrong, yes, but your emotional response is within your power. Choose to release the venom. Choose clarity, not bitterness. Elara wrestled with her feelings, slowly dismantling the grip of anger with the sharp blade of reason, understanding that true freedom came from within her mind. An ancient, colossal oak, revered for generations, finally succumbed to the harsh winter, its mighty branches collapsing into a heap of splintered wood. Mourning swept through the village. Elara, too, felt a pang of loss. Lyra stood beside her. "Look, Elara, even the strongest falls. Everything changes, everything passes. To cling to what once was is to suffer. To remember that all things are fleeting, even life itself, is not morbid, but liberating. It reminds us to cherish the present, to act with purpose today, for tomorrow is promised to no one. The tree is gone, but its spirit, its lesson, remains." Elara looked at the fallen giant, and for the first time saw not just decay, but the enduring cycle of existence. A dispute arose in the village, a quarrel over scarce resources, threatening to divide the already fragile community. Elara found herself in a position to mediate. Her impulse was to favor her friends, but Lyra's words resonated. Justice is not about personal loyalties, but about fairness, about what is right for the whole. It demands impartiality, courage to speak truth, and wisdom to find equitable solutions, even when it is difficult. Elara listened carefully to both sides, weighed the arguments without prejudice, and proposed a solution that, though not pleasing everyone, was undeniably fair and restored a fragile peace, demonstrating the power of principled action. One night, a storm of unprecedented ferocity raged outside. The wind howled like a banshee, and the very foundations of the village seemed to tremble. Alone in her small dwelling, Elara could have succumbed to terror, but instead she closed her eyes. She recalled Lyra's lessons, the strength she had cultivated within. The storm outside was a tempest, but her mind, her inner citadel, remained untouched. She focused on her breath, on the quiet rhythm of her own being, understanding that true peace was not found in the absence of external chaos, but in the unwavering stillness of her own spirit, a sanctuary no external force could breach. As spring timidly returned to the valley, bringing with it a fragile sense of hope, new opportunities arose. Food became more plentiful, and moments of joy were less rare. Elara, now respected for her wisdom, found herself invited to feasts and celebrations. But she remembered Lyra's caution. Even good things in excess can become a burden. Seek temperance in all things, in pleasure, in work, in rest. It is the balance that brings lasting contentment, not endless indulgence or ceaseless striving. Elara enjoyed the abundance, but always with mindful moderation, savoring each moment without clinging to it, understanding that true fulfillment lay in balance, not just abundance. And so, Elara, once a timid soul adrift in a world of shadows and despair, became a beacon of quiet strength. She did not change the external world, nor did she defeat every monster or avert every disaster. Instead, she mastered her own inner landscape, understanding that peace was not found by controlling the uncontrollable, but by cultivating an unwavering mind, by embracing fate, and by living with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Her life was a testament to the quiet power of a mind at peace. Even in the heart of chaos, as Elara found her peace, so too can we. The principles she learned, born of ancient wisdom, offer a pathway to tranquility in our own lives. May you carry these lessons into your dreams, finding your own inner citadel, knowing that whatever storms may rage outside, your spirit can remain calm and unshaken. Rest now with a mind at peace, ready for the quiet strength